Welcome in, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. Your Astros fumbling the bag there, kid.
What we do? What I miss?
You're down to a half a game.
Half a game, man.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you want to look at it from that direction, that's what's so crazy because, Bo, hold on. No, I'm glad you said that. This is a beautiful way to start off the show. Beautiful way. As if my day wasn't rough and your weekend wasn't rough, this is a beautiful way to get positive note. So the guy, my first sergeant, he's looking for a home, he stays with me, and his name is James, and he's a Mariners guy. And last night, about 10-ish, he's like, Jay, check it out. Mariners are even with you guys. I said, no, you're not even yet. We're still a half game. We got a half game. Let's not go all the way there. But you are close. You are close. By the way, congratulations. I think you guys are on a 7-game win streak, I believe, currently.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. I mean,
you're 9-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we helped you guys out because I tell you, normally the Rangers have got the Phillies number, and every time we played them over the last couple of years, I think they've swept us. But we got a little retribution.
Thank goodness, because we needed it. Seriously, because the more I can keep the Rangers suppressed, because I don't like the Rangers. I hate, and I've told you before, Aralda's chat. What's that guy's name? The Garcia, the one that had the big notorious bat flip in the World Series. Or the ALCS. Remember that?
It's fine.
Yeah, so that's good. But I will tell you this: that we got some good news today. Matter of fact, tonight we get Christian Javier back on the mound. So we are literally Brown, Valdez, Arrigati, and Javier. I don't know if we're going to get Garcia back yet or not because he had a setback in his rehab in minor leagues. I think he has some inflammation, so they had to shut him down in the elbow after that Tommy John. So I don't know where we're going to get Garcia if we get him back at all. But the fact that we at least got Javier back, I think our rotation is looking pretty good, to be honest. I'm feeling much better about the rotation now than what I did earlier, obviously, in the season, right? So we're looking pretty good.
You guys are fine. You're still playing 500 balls, so it's not like you guys have been terrible.
I just got to get Jake Myers back. I don't know if I get Alvarez back. If I don't get Alvarez back, it is what it is. But if I can at least get Jake Myers back into my lineup, because that's a 300 hitter in the outfield. So I need him back in the lineup. Between him and Pena hitting 300 and Altuve close to 300, that'll get our offense at least somewhat much better than what it's been, right? And I think we'll round back into form again. So we'll see.
I mean, you guys aren't in bad shape. Like, you guys are still fine.
I gotta tell you, thank you, Pags. You made me feel better. You gave me that little pep talk saying, Jay, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. I felt better after that conversation we had on air. I feel better. I mean,
it's that time of year.
Yeah, well, listen, at the moment, if just a couple games go the right way, both New York teams will not be in the playoffs.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Would that not be the most beautiful thing ever?
It'd be entertaining.
Pags,
lose their minds.
Pags,
literally, it's the Reds are under 2 games out,
right,
of the wild card spot, and the Yankees are only a half a game up on Cleveland, who is turning it around right now. Like, Cleveland is now all of a sudden. So,
I mean, they're 8-2.
Terry Francona. Terry Francona is the coach of that team, right? Manager.
Francona is, yes.
Yeah, and I tell you, he's the reason why. Like, you can't worry about what's happening in June and July.
Right.
You have to start to turn it on in August and September, and that's how you get into the playoffs. And I think that the Cleveland learned that last year. They went all out in the beginning of the season, and they were going crazy. And then by the end of the ski season, they had cooled off. This year is a little different. I suspect Cleveland could be making a splash in the playoffs when they get there. If they get there, obviously. They got to, the Red Sox are playing okay. The Mariners are 3.5 games up, and they hold the top wild card spot.
Well, it's because we're playing bad teams at the moment. I mean, I said that before we started this stretch. It's like, if there was a time for us to make some ground, it's now, right? Because we're playing 3 series of the worst teams in the league.
I'll tell you though. What's interesting to me, And a lot of people were talking about Correa coming back, and he wasn't as good as what he was when he left. But I got to tell you, well, Robert, keep dreaming that ain't going to happen. But anyway, I got to be telling you, man, since Correa's come back to Houston, now I know this is just a small little section right now because he's only been with us for a little bit. But he's looking like he's rounded back into the Correa from back then. Like he's looking good right now. He's hit a couple of dingers. He's getting on base. He's really doing well. And I loved it when they were in New York. How Altuve got his 250th home run. By the way, he's 250 and 250, right? 250 home runs, 250 stolen bases, right? He's doing really, really well. But I liked how in New York, in front of their home crowd, he hits a dinger for 250, and then Correa hits a dinger, and they did it in the same day. Oh my God, it was beautiful. It was like a thing of beauty.
So,
by the way, one more time,
does he have like the earpiece in? So does he have like the earpiece in so that they can go?
We were having good friends right now.
They are hitting those trash cans into a microphone so we can hear it.
Why are you gonna say that? We're in such a good mode right now. Me and you are bonding, and then you gotta go and be an asshole. Why?
Well, because hey, listen, I'm just reminding you what was going on the last time Correa was on this team, right? That is true.
Yeah,
correct.
Look, come on. I know you're going to say that, but let's move on from that because that really is a narrative.
Listen, I can still bust some balls. Hey, listen, I can still bust some balls. If we had a White Sox guy on here, I'd still be telling him about how they threw the World Series.
Oh, the Black Sox. Yeah,
and that was a minute ago.
that was a long minute ago. But it is. I mean, on all honesty, I do think they're rounding back into form, and I can't tell you, man, Pags. I would just like for you to say it one more time, but this time say it with your chest about the two New York teams not making it, so Frankie Cruz Jr. in New York can hear you, because that was a beautiful sentence that you said.
Hey, listen. First off, let's just talk about how dismal the Mets have been playing. They are 1-9 in their last 10. 1 for 9 in their last 10 games. They are playing PU. Yeah. They are really stinking up the joint, which I'm really excited about. I like to appreciate that type of stuff because they actually have a worse record in their last 10 games than the Colorado Rockies, who have won 2 in their last 10.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they're also garbage, but
and the Guardians have won 8 of their last 10. The Mariners have won 9 of their last 10, and everybody else has been rather mid. But the Yankees have not been mid. They have also been PU. They have won 3 games in their last 10. So it's just a matter of time before both New York teams are on the outside looking in.
And that would be great. And I mean, this here, everybody still talks about Deflategate and they talk about Spygate. And I mean, anytime a team gets caught cheating, it gets talked about forever. But the only part that matters is they don't take the rings away. So it doesn't make any difference, right?
Hey, look at Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
not that's the thing. Like Robert wants to talk about.
It don't matter. Here's our ring.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the thing, though, right? Robert wants to talk about shameful part of baseball. Robert, that doesn't get on my skin. You know why? Because in 2022, we still got a World Series, and you still didn't get jack shit. So whatever, Bubba. But I just want to say this.
You sound a little bitter about it.
I'm just a little bitter because look, let's be honest. If you're pissed off because, and look, I didn't like it either. Okay, I didn't like the whole. It is what it is. Okay, but at the end of the day, let's not act like sign stealing isn't a part of baseball. Let's not act like it's not there. Let's not act like the guy on second base isn't.
That's a little different.
But it shouldn't be done by somebody with binoculars.
Let me finish. I'll be done. I'm just saying, sign stealing is always a part of baseball. It's been a success. Now, if you want to get mad because we use technological advances to do what the guy on second base is already doing.
Don't take my shirt off because I got the thing right here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep my shirt on because I got it right here after he hits that home run.
But it's still the same damn thing. The only difference between then and then is technology. It still goes on today. Hell, just yesterday.
Oh, okay. So then you were okay with Belichick doing what he was doing, right?
Look, Yankees yesterday were caught stealing signs.
There we go. Oh, one side or the other.
Hold on. The Yankees yesterday, just the other day with Hector Neris, we all know about it. They were stealing signs. They were relaying signs from second base. That's why he had to do the balk to get the guy over to third. Let's not act like stealing signs isn't a part of the game. It's a part of the game.
That's not what we're saying. When you're using technology for every batter, that's different because you don't have a guy on second for every batter.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like when you're doing it with binoculars and a trash can, that changes the dexterity of the game. It does. So I don't need to talk about 2017 anymore.
Why is there no more?
We're not talking. We don't need to justify or unjustify what Houston did. It's okay. You guys won the championship. You know what? At your best to say, okay. You know, you can say whatever you want. You know why?
I get it. But why are we not making it? Why are we not making a big deal? Why are we not giving amount of shame to, let's just say, Cleveland, for example? How many of their pitchers are betting on baseball?
Because you're on our screen. If we're just yelling at the wind, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying, Bo. I'm not saying you guys. Bo. I'm not saying you guys specifically. I'm not saying like this show even specifically. I'm just talking about all of baseball. Like, why don't we see us on ESPN? Why don't we see it in the comments about people who get busted for betting on baseball? If you want to talk about some shame, talk about the ones that are throwing games. That's where shame is.
And Jamie. The cream and the clear was developed in Pittsburgh. So don't tell me that everybody. He went to San Francisco afterwards, and he paid for that guy to come out there with him. So don't tell me that the cream and the clear got developed in Pittsburgh. Just saying.
Well, and we do still talk about every other team that cheats. Like those comments come up. They just come up more here because, well, you're on the show and it's funny. But it's not that they don't come up other places. Like if we had a Cleveland guy or a Patriots guy, you don't think we'd talk about that? Of course. And if our team was cheating, I'd just be like,
yeah, because it's best for you to just never heard of it. I know.
I don't understand. Can you explain what that is? I don't understand what the cream and I don't understand what that means.
It was the topical steroids that Bonds was using. The cream and the clear.
Oh, okay.
So that's
interesting. I just never heard of that until now.
No, he was just a gambler.
Well,
he didn't know when to fold them.
And it's funny because we do still talk about all the gambling. I mean, the talks about Detroit having lost multiple players and staff, and 2 years ago, like that still gets brought up.
Honestly, I will tell you this.
Wait. It's usually brought up as the benchmark of how are these idiots still doing it when you watched like 3 players and 5 staffers all get fired like in a week, and then you still have guys coming out and be like, "Oh, I bet on football. I didn't realize I couldn't do that." It's like I feel like if you paid attention even a little bit.
Absolutely. You know what I was gonna say. You know what really makes me mad though, honestly, about my Astros in 17. What makes me mad about that whole thing is the fact that team was good enough to win the World Series on an outright legit moment. We didn't. Truthfully, we really didn't need the trash cans. That's what makes me so. That's really what makes me mad about it. Is team was good enough to win that World Series outright.
You know what? It makes me think of. Why you. It makes me think of Sue, right? He didn't need to be a dirty player. Like, dude was dominant anyway. But then you had him stomping on people and playing super dirty. But he didn't have to. Like, he would dominate anyway. Right. He just happened to do it. So when you think of Sue and his career, you don't think of the dominance that he was. You think of, that dude was dirty.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's crazy. Go Birds. Hey, your boy Dickerson, I saw got carted off. How is he doing now?
I don't know. Actually, he got carted off. Sorry, I was reading something from something else. He got carted off. It looked bad. We will see today. We'll hear about it today. I'm hoping so. He got carted off, but he was in the front seat of the cart, not in the back of the cart, which means that he was able to bend his knee. He was able to bend his knee, which makes me feel a lot better. Anything with the ankle is going to be much better than the knee. He couldn't put any weight on it, which makes me think that it was a high ankle sprain. Something that you typically hear in basketball, don't very well hear about it in football.
Unless it's Mahomes, and then it's every year.
Right. But I think that that's what it was. I think that that's what it is. I'm hoping that it might have been just hey, somebody stepped on his foot a little too hard. Like Mailata, like just maybe backtracked and just stepped like on the inner ankle of his foot, which really hurts. That's like an ouch quit it.
Yep.
Like I got to get off me. I can't walk now for a minute because the magic spray is not in football.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of what it was. I don't know for certain, though.
And yeah, there were some pretty wicked injuries over the weekend. The Lions player was obviously the worst.
I like how they finished that game. They hiked the ball. They let the clock run out. They didn't call it early. They all stayed around and prayed around the ball. It was. Hey, listen, this is a community here. Like these guys are busting their asses for all of us.
Yeah,
they're doing it for all of us. So it's we don't have anything to be able to talk about if football wasn't a thing. So I appreciate the fact that one, they finished the game. They didn't call it.
Yep.
And two, that it's, that they were able to come together as one community to mourn what could. Is he okay?
So I actually haven't heard on him. The other guy ended up with season-ending neck surgery. So
he had neck surgery.
Yeah. Well, no. So there was two neck injuries. So the second one, it was in the Dolphins game, I think. He ended up getting surgery. The first guy, I actually haven't heard the update on him, but I mean, yeah, he went down. He caught that, the knee to the head, and then, I mean, he was having seizures on the field, right? So I don't know. I haven't seen an update on him yet. Which that's not really encouraging when there's not an update. And we're days later.
Yeah. Because you would have think by now they would have had X-rays, MRIs should have been done. They should be analyzing data to see what it is. I mean, you'd think something would be out there by now.
Well, I mean, unless it's bad, and then they generally are slow to release something like that.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
So
I hope it's not.
What we'll see. I mean, it's Monday, so it might be one of those where some of the further testing wasn't going to happen till today anyway. But here we go. Released. That's awesome because it looked bad.
Wow.
Well, he hit him and was not moving.
Yeah. Well, and then he went into a seizure.
Oh. I didn't see the seizure.
Oh yeah, no, like it was bad. So good to hear that he was released. That's amazing. Because it looked like it could have went a different way real quick.
So, yeah, and that was the neck, correct? That he injured, or it was hurt. Was it the neck?
Yeah, I mean he took a knee to the face, right? Like the running back was coming through. And he jumped as he was running, and he came in kind of sideways and just took it to the face, and then and then he was out, right? Like right.
Well, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, you saw him. You saw him after that hit. He went limp in the air.
Oh yeah, no, it was a wrap. Like he hit the ground, and then Yeah, exactly. And then he went into a seizure after he was laying on the ground. So I mean, all bad, right? So
yeah, anytime you deal with the neck, that makes me nervous in general. Just anything with the neck makes me nervous because I mean, paralysis is the first thing that comes to my mind.
No, for sure. But if he was already released, then that's
amazing. So. Hey, what's up with this? I think it was is it smelling salts that the NFL is having issues with now? So, yeah, if you want salts, you have to have your own personal ones or something.
Yeah, basically the team can't provide them, but they're not outlawing them. They're just no longer going to provide them as a team. I don't know what prompted that.
So if you overuse those, they are determining that may have something to do. Like if you use that and then suffer a concussion, that the CTE portion of the concussion could be worse because of it.
Okay.
So it's ultimately the science of the smelling salts. It makes you seem clearer because it stops some of the it's all electric impulses in your brain.
Yeah.
It stops some of those electric impulses. So ultimately, it actually does as much harm as good when you are having like collisions and stuff like that. So they are just again, I'm not a doctor and I may be saying this completely wrong, so I don't want to be the one that you're saying, the Philly sports guy says.
we are not doctors on this show. We don't even play them on TV. Like
it just seems like, I guess like the way you're saying it's almost like those salts, they like shock, I guess they're shocking the brain or something like that, like an organic kind of way.
Brad, stop trying to pick a fight. Even though you're an Eagles fan and Phillies fan, stop trying to pick a fight. I see what you're doing. That's coming from me, Brad. No picking fights.
Brad, Jamie, and Joe always about to get into it.
Mixing it up in the chat. Man. I'm telling you what. And Brad's like that little kid that was in high school that sucked at everything, but always opened up his mouth. He's like that kind of guy.
By about halfway through the show, the chat has devolved from that to the finger half an inch from your face. I'm not touching you.
I'm just saying.
It is always funny. If you see me randomly chuckle, it's because I'm scanning the chat as they go at each other for no reason at all.
Trying to be alive. Jeez. I think Brad was probably put into lockers as a kid. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe. I really think that he was just put into lockers, and this is his way of retribution. Maybe I might be wrong. I don't know, Brad. Maybe you weren't. I don't know. But no, I mean, that's what it seems like, though, Pags. Like when you talk about the electrical impulses and how it stops those, to me, that seems like you're organically shocking the brain to get them to come out of it.
Well, you're not organically. That's not an organic.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is you're using like a. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Maybe organically is the wrong word, but
you're
it just
using a hard version of ammonia. You know what I mean? That's what that is. That's ammonia salts broken open that creates such a pungent smell that it actually stops some of the electrical impulses in your brain.
Well, and it makes sense because you're limiting oxygen. So, I mean, yeah.
So
I don't know if you want to limit oxygen to the brain. To me, that just sounds like a bad idea.
No,
well, I mean, in a very small dose. In a very small dose, thinking about it in the right way, when you do it if I was to do it now, it would open up my sinuses. It would allow me to be able to breathe more because it constricts the blood flow in my nose. So if there was anything stuffing me up, that all is gone now.
Right.
Because it's all like dissipated because all the flow retracts.
Right.
And then it goes up.
Now there's
and it's right here in your brain where there's a lot of electrical impulses that are happening. So things that you're thinking about that you don't even realize that you're thinking about, like something that's been on your mind for 3 weeks and has been a stress to you. suddenly is no longer being thought about right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? You don't really notice it because it's in your peripheral of your brain, but it's still there. So now it's gone, along with some of the other things that are going on, because the first thing your brain is trying to do is get away from that smell.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a flight mechanism that creates it. So that's why you're like, you know what I mean? It
Right.
shocks you, and you are doing it purposely, but your brain wants to get away because it knows it's bad.
Yep.
Those are the things that are occurring here, and then you got to be like, okay, well, now that's
I will tell you, there are two things
guys that are doing it way too long,
right?
And they're breathing it in for like more than like you're supposed to do that for like a half a second,
right?
And do it. These guys are breathing it in for like 5 seconds. No bueno.
Yeah, that about to say that. I would say there are two things in my life I have smelled. One was when they were both in the military. When they were both, one was smelling salts because that's what they did. I got knocked out and I had to get. They use that to bring me out of it. And then the second one was CS gas. I don't care what anybody says. If you ever breathe in CS gas, that's like death because you can't breathe. You feel like you're being suffocated. Your whole inside of your body is burning up on the inside out. That's just the worst. Bo, I'm telling you right now. I don't know if any of you guys ever had CS gas come into your life. But it's the worst damn thing that I've ever seen in my life.
I have like a natural version of this. This is what this is. And it smells more like a menthol than it does, but it does a similar situation where I can breathe this in because it's nowhere near as strong as the smelling salts and stuff. And I've had this jar for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
And it's still there. Every once in a while I put in like 3 or 4 drops of water. Just moisten it, and
that's weird that you have something like that readily available.
Well, no, because it does a couple things. One, it's similar to like when you would put
correct. They just bring their own.
The menthol here under your nose, like when you're sleeping, like that menthol rub and on your chest and stuff like that. Very similar to that, where it's supposed to help you breathe. Like I said, this is an organic type of situation that somebody brought me back from Costa Rica, actually. And the fact that it has lasted as long as it has, they said you should never need another one. Oh, and here I've had it. It might have even been longer than 4 years. It might be like 6 or 7.
He can bring you that, but he can't bring in ayahuasca. What the hell?
No. Oh my God, you'll get arrested right at the.
Oh yeah, you would
immediately. Yeah, well, and maybe some of it was just the new sponsors, Vicks Vapor Rub. I mean, that's the thing. They're like, you can't use salts, but we have this thing.
I wonder if that would help you with snoring. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder if that would help somebody with snoring, if that would be an application for that.
I feel like the main takeaway of this is our viewership is probably by people that have used the salts a little too long. Certainly the panel.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to get those things right now. Like, where would you find them?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
We use Noxzema rather. Wow, West Coast weird. That's
no. I mean, that actually makes sense though to hide the smell.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, or Vicks, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Noxzema under the nose, because the Noxzema has a weird odor that cannot be.
It is weird.
Passed. Like you'll smell that before you'll smell anything else, especially when you put it under your nose. Makes it a lot easier to do that. But the other smells won't get past it, which is why you use Noxzema.
That's interesting.
I used to use Noxzema to try to take the makeup off, so I have lots of it. So if anybody wants to put that under their nose, just let me know. I'll ship it all to you.
Yeah, no, it's it has a unique smell. There's no doubt, and it's strong.
Right.
So.
Candy casting. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So
I like how I don't know if y'all saw that, but I kind of got a laugh out of it, and then I thought to myself, Dak, just shut up. Stop saying that stupid stuff. Dak came out, and then I guess he said that he expects to see the Rams in the NFC Championship game, and I'm like, bro, Come on, man.
Well, no,
I don't know.
To see them in the championship game. He's not going to play
against the Eagles. That's what he means.
I mean, again, I love my Cowboys, but come on, Dak, man. Damn.
Well,
I mean,
Dak,
unless you know something I don't
your
know.
Mouth and play football.
Yeah.
Win some games, then try to talk smack. I understand you trying to talk smack right now. It's just trying to pump your team up, but
exactly. I mean,
I listened to somebody today who said the Eagles are going 9-8, and I'm like, all right, first off, anybody who thinks and not for anything other than anybody who thinks that Kansas City is going to win the game against the Eagles in week 2 after they come back from Brazil, they're out of their mind. And I'll tell you why. The Eagles were hurting till the bye week when they went down there. Like they were not playing at optimum because they were still recovering from going to Brazil. The problem with this 12-hour plane ride is that it takes a week to recover from it. And then that's if you were like to rest, but you ain't resting because you're practicing. So it takes a lot longer to recover from. I can't guarantee that the Eagles are going to win because you never know what the world's going to bring. Yeah, but I tell you, it's almost a lock to bet the Eagles in week 2.
And you can do that right here using this QR code. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. Bet us right here on Coast to Coast. And of course, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, you can use this QR code as well. Free 5-day pass, any of the 3 locations of True Fusion Gym, Bellevue, Ballard, University Village, Pilates Bootcamp, Yoga Bar, and more. And they have a special event coming up in the fall where the Seattle Seawolves are going to do an event at True Fusion Gym. Should be entertaining. I will be there for it as well. But that being said, find your edge, True Fusion Gym.
I feel like the Cleveland Guardian pitchers should really use that Bet US and use our promo code for that, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Really think that will pay off for you, number one. Real quick, what do you guys think about JJ McCarthy? I know it's preseason, week 1, so I don't really put a lot of stock into it, but I thought JJ looked pretty good in week 1.
Yeah, he looked decent. Shedeur had a good outing.
Yeah, Shedeur looked good.
Like he
who also looked really good against third stringers? Burrows.
Burrow came out and did some work.
They played their first string against our second and third stringers, and they looked like that they're going to score a lot of points. But you know what? The first stringers and second stringers and third stringers of Cincinnati stink.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
I thought it was
defense at all. Like zero defense.
I thought it was a little comical when Shedeur was out there doing his thing, and they took a still photograph of the other quarterbacks for Cleveland, and Flacco's like the dad looking at his son, like, yeah, let's do it. And then Watson and Gabriel look like they're about to lose their lunch on the sideline. They did not look happy at all.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun never looks happy. So there is that element of it. And I would imagine that Dylan wasn't stoked about it, right? Because this is Shedeur's chance to leapfrog him on the depth chart. So I can't imagine he's excited because I don't think he's able to come back until the 3rd game anyway. So Shedeur's going to get that next start in theory. But yeah, no, I mean, he looked good, and that's what he was going to have to do, right? Even if it's against second and third, doesn't matter. He needed to maximize, right? And so he did do that. Couple of scores, decent pass percentage, especially when you figure he only had like 1 or 2 practices with the ones before the game anyway. So at least he looked good. Again, I like that for the Browns because now they really have no idea what they're doing. And I find that hilarious. So
I think, it'll be interesting to see what he does against the Eagles. I'm going to be going to practice. I think I'm going to practice tomorrow.
Okay. Do they have a joint practice coming up? Yeah.
So
nice.
I'm supposed to be going there, which means I wouldn't be coming here. I think that is what's happening. So
Cool.
It'll be that'll be fun and interesting to see those joint practices because they have them for a couple of days.
Yeah, joint practices are always interesting. They get real chippy.
Especially with I want to see the interactions between Sanders and Hurts. I think that will be interesting in general. Because you have somebody in Hurts who so one of the things we haven't spoken about, I've been reluctant to bring it up because I don't want to tell anybody. I think it's just better to know this type of stuff and whatever. After the championship, so Hurts hasn't put on the ring or anything like that. He has not worn the ring. And afterwards, he called up Michael Jordan.
Okay.
To talk about, what to do after, what did Michael do after his first one? What were certain things? And he said straight out, he's like, you don't celebrate yourself. You do not reward yourself yet until you're where you want to be. If you want to win 3 or 4 championships, you set yourself the goal of winning the 3 or 4 championships. And then at that moment, you start to reward yourself a little bit to be able to keep and maintain your excellence over and above. Now, you don't hear that very often from a quarterback. And you haven't heard anything about this story because it's not very good story to tell, actually. When you hear about a quarterback saying, hey, listen, I'm not celebrating this championship. This is not where I want to be. If I want to get into the conversation with the greatest of all time, I have to maintain a certain level so that I can get put into that conversation. Right now, I'm nowhere near it. Right now, I can't even get in the top 10.
Yeah.
So you got Patrick Mahomes who's coming in, and he's lost 2 Super Bowls already. Now he's gotten there. You know what I mean? He's done those things, but he's not the ultimate winner. He's won 3, correct. And how much of that can you blame on everything else that's happening? I mean, you could almost say that the defense for him against the Eagles 2 years ago saved him enough to get to the point where he was able to do that. And he came out great in the second half. He was able to do all the things he needed to do to bring his team back to the win. And you got to give him credit for that. It was against me. So I know I was there. I saw it. And everybody can blame me because I called Beyonce or whoever did the halftime show the wrong name. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, damn.
Oh, on a video. On a video. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you could blame that on me because I didn't know who the halftime show was. This last halftime show, when it was Kendrick Lamar, I just left. I just was like, you know what? I don't know who's at halftime. I don't care because right now we're ahead 27-0, and I want it to stay that way.
Yeah, you didn't miss much with Kendrick Lamar.
Well, yeah, but at least I
unless you're a Kendrick Lamar fan.
At least I didn't call him Diddy.
Oh, that's true. At least that would have been rough.
I mean, if you were gonna do it, you'd have to call him Drake, right?
Drake, yeah, exactly.
Because they have a beef, so that would have been.
Oh yeah. I thought it was interesting when he called out Drake. I mean, the whole damn song was calling out Drake. I mean, I was like, wow, that's
I understand. Whatever. Either way, neither here nor there. It's
so moving on from wherever that was about to head.
Well, we were talking about Lamar. We were not talking about Lamar. We were talking about Shedeur and coming to Eagles practice and doing this joint practice. That's what's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no. I mean, the joint practices are always good because at least they're a little bit more competitive than the way the practices typically are anymore. So I'm a fan of the joint practice, especially because they don't really get a hit in their own practices. You have fewer, preseason games. So, I mean, at least you get to see a little bit more work. It's still not game speed or anything, but it's at least interesting. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, me too. Especially when I get to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's always a bonus. That's always a bonus. So we do have some UFC news. The UFC is they're signing this if it loads.
I got 7 years,
Hey,
7.7 billion in breaking.
Yep. 7 years, $7.7 billion exclusive rights for Paramount Plus. There will be some special events that are on CBS, same company. But the UFC is basically moving all of their stuff to Paramount Plus. So everything is headed to streaming services. That being said, it was generally pay-per-view anyway. So, you had the prelims that were free, and then the main part of the card were pay-per-view. So it's just changing where you're paying for it, really. So
is it just UFC that is moving to Paramount, or are there other things going along with that? Like, is there NFL stuff or anything like that going to Paramount, or is it
no? This is the UFC as an organization is moving their stuff to Paramount Plus. So this
is just UFC. Okay.
Yeah, this is a deal with the UFC.
Wow, I'll tell you, you're right. I mean, I think cable's about to be dead with everything going to these streaming services. In terms of sports, anyway. I mean,
all things being equal, I'm not mad at it because their customer service is so terrible. I'm fine with them going out of business. Like,
I mean, I agree. I mean, I have YouTube TV, and so far I haven't had any issues with them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think cable is such an old dinosaur because, I mean, now with these streaming services, I mean, you can take it on your phone, you can go to anybody's house. I mean, I like the portability of it. You can take it. As far as well, I don't know West Coast. I still like some UFC.
I mean, the thing that's funny is I used to watch it a lot. And really over the last 5+ years, I kind of don't follow it at all anymore. Like, if I have a friend that's ordering it up, I'll come over and I'll watch. I'm there to hang out with my friends and drink beer and, whatever.
Right.
And the fights are on, but I don't really follow it the way I did early on in the UFC days where it was, it was just smaller. It was easier to like follow your fighters and stuff like that. And now it's sort of been watered down with all of the reality shows that now feed into it and stuff. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't have the same feel for me. So I don't really watch it. I can't remember the last time I ordered a fight. I mean, it's probably been a decade since I
mean, if I gotta be honest, if I was gonna order, I've never ordered a fight. I've always gone to B-Dubs and just watched it there and had wings and whatever.
Oh, we just had people over, and then we'd order the fight, and then everybody else would bring food, right? So it ends up being everybody going out.
Yeah.
Plus, I had at the time I had a 110-inch projection screen.
Oh,
so,
damn.
So yeah, I mean, it was easier to watch that way.
So I tell you what I saw on Instagram. There was a fight in the stands all the way up at the nosebleeds. At the UFC fight that beat all of the other fights there. I tell you, this one guy who looks like a fairly big guy. The one guy, the row below him is like trying to calm him down. He's like, "Smack me, just smack me, just smack me." The guy smacked from the lower level. Now this guy's up higher, lower level, smacks him, falls back a row, gets back up, smacks him again. Then it switches to another part of the fight where he punches him. The guy who's above him tumbles down like 4 rows, and the guy's like, wham, 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 wham. And it's like everybody's watching. It seemed like the guy who was on the upper level deserved it. I mean, just from the way that the video was showing. Because the one guy's like, just calm down, dude. Calm the frig down. We are in the nosebleeds here, and we are trying to watch a UFC fight. Why don't you just relax? And the guy wasn't relaxing.
Part of the show.
And then he lost the upper hand, by being the high grounds.
Yeah.
So basically, he was asking to be smacked. and he got smacked.
He got smacked and then got smacked. Like
hey, that is the fuck around and find out, right?
That is.
Oh no, Dustin! I don't go to any bars looking for fights. I'm there for beer and pizza or beer and wings, man. Oh, I'm a lover, not a fighter, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it was somebody that was too drunk. I mean, that's generally how that works.
Well, for sure. It's always that one guy that had that one too many beers.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to have it be the like stone cold sober guy that's just like, I'm here to fight today. And it's like, get in the ring, dude. Like,
you're like, hey, was that the undercard before the undercards? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's right. The undercard. Yeah, it's like the tough truck competition before the monster trucks come out. It's so that people can go up and destroy their rides. Like it's yeah. I don't think they do that anymore. Actually, that's probably an insurance liability. I remember that as a kid, though.
Jeez.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot of good football this weekend overall, right? Like it was what you thought it would be. It's sloppy, ugly football, not a lot of good timing, bunch of people that aren't going to be on rosters. But it was good to see a couple of teams throw some starters out there for a series or two just to get some reps in there. I did appreciate
that. What switch over to baseball real quick. I guess y'all tracking that the first female ever umped a Major League Baseball game over the weekend. I thought that was pretty cool.
No, it's cool. It's it's always good when some of these barriers are pushed through.
Now they got the second one coming out too.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second one's joining today.
Nice.
It's only because you live so far away. I think Brad would throw hands with you, man.
I think Brad's still stuck in the locker. Probably not. I think he's texting from inside the locker.
I actually got in a lot of them as a kid.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you a question, or it's a trivia question, and you tell me who you think I'm gonna tell you right now. It's a pitcher. I'm gonna read a description of what he did that was part of history, and then you tell me who you think the pitcher was. I even gave you the year. So in the final game of 1973, Blank took the mound, needing 16 strikeouts to break Sandy Koufax's single-season record of 382. He pitched all 11 innings of a 5-4 walk-off win, fanning 16 batters along the way. The final strikeout came in the 11th. This pitcher went all 11 innings and got the single-season strikeout record. 1973. Anybody know who it was?
I mean, that just seems like a Nolan Ryan stat.
Ding, 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 ding. I just want to see if y'all knew it. I figured you might figure it out, but I thought that was pretty cool, man. I didn't know that about him. Because at that time he wasn't with the Astros. I think that was when he was with the Angels. I think, yeah, because he came in with the Mets. I think it's '69, and then he went over to the Angels. I think when he was with the Angels, that's pretty dope to go 11 innings. You can't even get a pitcher to go 6. This guy's going 11.
Well, he'd also pitched like 2 games in 3 days, doing full games. Like Nolan Ryan was an absolute animal.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, even with the human body, and all the violence that it goes through that, to go that long, I thought that was impressive.
No, like there was a crazy stat that the last game of his career, he tore a ligament in his arm on one of the pitches, and then his next pitch with the tore ligament was still over 100 miles an hour. Him testing if he could keep going. So, yeah, no, dude was absolutely nuts. There's no doubt.
Dude, let me ask one question. What do you think it is that allowed pitchers back then to go so much longer? And I think we talked about this. Is it because of the spin rate so much? Is that's what's killing these pitchers over what they used to? Because I know they had the curveball and they had the slider and things like that back in the 70s. But what is the difference between then and now?
A lot of those guys weren't throwing as hard.
Well, that's true.
I mean, so like that was some of it. Like when you think of average pitch speed back then versus average pitch speed now, you're talking 5, 6, 7 miles an hour. Like that's That's significant. So
yeah,
it back in those days, a heater was upper 80s, right? Nolan Ryan was the unicorn that was, tapping in over 100. But now everybody throws 95, right? Like if you're a starter, you throw 95. It's just pretty much.
You don't even see many pitchers even getting to the 100 pitch mark. And if they do, it's very rare that you see pitchers get to 100 or over 100.
Well, they'll get to 100 pitches, but that's it.
But they're not going above it. I mean, I remember when they used to have 130, 120, 110. But now, like you said, they don't go past the 100 mark. And I'm assuming they probably don't do that because, like you said, because of the faster throwing, they're trying to keep them and preserve their body, I guess, from having that Tommy John if they can avoid it. I'm assuming that's why they're doing it.
Well, and there's also some things that are different. Like they're checking much closer for you to have anything on your hand. Even if you have the tack, right, that you're allowed to have, if there's too much of it, you've sweat too much and it's sticky, they'll still bounce you out. So some of it has to do with the grip isn't as good. So, I mean, it just, yeah. And yeah, he would throw for 100 miles an hour for 9 innings. Like, dude was an absolute monster. Cal has a really good shot at the AL.
I think he does have a damn good shot.
What is something that is a little bit surprising because you don't think of the Mariners as like a power hitting team, right? Obviously Cal is getting a lot of notice because, he's leading the league, but you don't really think about the rest of the roster being home run hitting, right? Except we have 4 players in the top 20 in home runs.
Right.
You wouldn't really think
too
about
bad for Seattle these days. I know when we first started the season, Bo was saying, man, 4 runs, you're killing us. And then our hitting's anemic, but our pitching's great. And now, look like we're pretty good, well-rounded team out there, Bo.
I know, but were you watching our team at the beginning of the year? Was I lying?
No, you weren't. But I think you were stunned. I legitimately think that when they got Suarez and when they got Naylor, I have an envisionment of you in your house with your mouth draw open, like, I can't believe they actually did it.
No. When they started making moves at the trade deadline, I'm like, are they announcing the wrong team? They're the Mariners, right? Like, yeah, no. I mean, I was definitely surprised when they started making actual moves that mattered. Pleasantly surprised. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's amazing.
So I am going to the Mariners Houston Astros game. That's my birthday, September 20th. So they're going to be playing in Houston. The Mariners are, and so I'm taking James with me. I think he's going to have a Mariners jersey on. I'll have my Astros jersey on, and depending on how things go, and I'm pretty sure we're going to take an Uber. You may get to see that UFC fight in the stands one more time because I'm pretty sure he's an asshole when it comes to Mariners. It can happen. If so, I'll take steals.
Yeah, and Scott, you're right. Like 100, 105, like that's it. They shut them down. So
yeah.
they're trying to keep their guys healthy. And so things like the most innings pitched, which I think Nolan Ryan also has, you're never going to see that record eclipsed, right?
I think Verlander just hit 3,500, so he's like 1,500 away, but he ain't got enough time.
Yeah, I was going to say he'd only have to like double his career. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I feel like if Verlander, Scherzer, and DeGrom, and all these good pitchers can't do it, it'd be very hard. And like you said earlier, the fact that they only go 6 and they're not going 8 or 9 anymore like they did back then. I mean, the chances are like them. Even Paul Skeens, I just don't. They're right. I don't think they're going to do that.
Certainly, the records of like complete games, no one's even going to ever get close to them,
right?
Because nobody pitches complete games. I mean, you end up with like when you think back to that era, you'd have complete games for a pitcher, 10 times a year, probably. And now there's a complete game from a pitcher for the league of like 10 times a year. So it's it's a little bit just different.
Yeah. I think Paul Skeens had a complete game? I think he's done a complete game. I feel like.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he has.
I mean, I don't know his whole career. I'm just saying, like, it seems like he's done a complete game.
I mean, all pitchers have pretty much done a complete. All starting pitchers, let me throw that out there, have probably done one at some point.
This year, I don't know that he has. Let's see how many complete games won.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas it used to be like half of these guys' starts were complete games.
Yeah, I know that.
And I'm not including like the 40s and 50s where they didn't have relievers, right? Like they didn't.
Right.
Of course, they were complete games because they were forced to. But as soon as they started having rotation, a lot of these guys were still, throwing complete games a lot of times anyway, unless they were getting shelled.
Because they put more people to do pinch hitting. There's been a lot less pinch hitting. It's happening more now in the back end of the season, but beginning of the season, there was no pinch hits. So I like when a pinch hitter comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like for all of a sudden, you feel like that there is more of a possibility of a home run because of that.
Yeah.
I know the Astros have done a few times. I have seen at least more than a handful of games where they've used a pitch hitter. Matter of fact, Chas McCormick and Dubon have come in quite a few times as pitch hitters. But you're right, it's not as much. They don't use it as much.
Yeah.
Crazy. Of course, I also don't see no damn bunting either. I wish we'd get back to bunting to get guys over. That'd be nice. But small ball doesn't seem to be the big thing anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that hasn't been for a number of years now. And Dustin, this one's for you, man. It's like old times. That's how this show started. That guy just hanging out in the weeds, dropping random comments. Still no stats, though. That's kind of weird.
I have a feeling when the stat guy when he's running around the house, if he just quotes out stats, just generally, like how many times his kids do things, wife he does, whatever the case may be. I just feel like there should be generalized stats that he quotes inside the home.
I mean, is that where all the stats get used up at home? Yeah, and pitchers. Yep.
I remember when pitchers used to bat. Shit. Yeah. Who was that one kid?
That was almost a guaranteed out.
Almost.
Except for when they'd randomly step in and then yank one out. And you're like, wait a minute. I know that's not supposed to happen.
Right.
Who was that one?
That being said, that gets us to the top of the hour. And by tomorrow, Jay will have found what he's looking for. So if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching anywhere else, stay tuned. And other than that, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you all tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Later.